Do you want to talk about what happened, your issues in Venezuela?
Venezuela or Georgia? Venezuela. Okay. We'll keep Georgia for another time. Yeah. Well, I was a politic prisoner myself. The country was in a very difficult situation between opposition and officials. As people know, Venezuela has turned into a complicated country, a kind of communist-supported country. Everything was nationalized, and well, basically there were riots everywhere, manifestations, people manifesting in all the cities, and well, basically I had one of my armored cars, very well equipped, detained. I invited my brother. There were like manifestations very close to my house. I invited my brother to have dinner on a Lebanese restaurant. After that, he decided to walk home. I told him, listen, I'll take you with my car. It was my basically my supercar, the one I armored after that incident I told you about. And I took him with my car, and we stopped in front of his building. We talked a little bit, and there were some cops just taking off a barricade that the neighbors installed as like to manifest. My brother descended the car. He entered the building, and when I was leaving, a cop just raised his hand. I saw him through the back for the mirror of the car. I parked the car again, descended the car, left my gun on the console, on the mid console between the two seats of the car. It's a cop who's stopping you, so there's no need to descend with a gun, no matter the intentions. So he asked me, what are you doing here? I said, well, I just left my brother. Are you armed? Raise your hands. I said, yes, the gun is in the car. And I raised my hands. He saw the two magazines hanged on my belt, and he pointed the gun at me. He pushed me through the wall, you know. And I said, well, nothing to worry about. You know, he's just doing his job. Some of them are a little aggressive, some of them not. He called his partners. There were like 7 cops. When they checked the car, they saw all the car equipped, oxygen tanks, armored vehicle, rescue gear, bulletproof vests. That was the car I used to work and to protect my clients. This is the basic stuff you can have.
Let me jump in here. And again, you used to always carry in your car, I know for a fact, you had stuff for clients. Yeah. Everything from toothpaste to soap to, again, you had your sat phone for clients, which you used.
Cell phones, yeah, soaps, like hygiene kits. If they stay in the hotel, their bags don't arrive, because it's very common in the airport that your bags don't arrive, you know. So it was, yeah, like a medicine kit, personal hygiene kit, even clothes for them, for women and men, rescue gear, oxygen tanks, gas masks, you know. Everything with the invoices, with the, you know, I had a whole envelope with all the invoices to prove that I bought this gear, you know. And permits are legal for guns. It wasn't. But then the excuse was that there's a cop that was shot in the manifestation close to our house. It's like, you know, 1 kilometer distance. And when they saw all that gear, the guy called, hey, come and see this, guys. They entered my car. They started stealing and putting things under their, you know, their bulletproof vest, armored vest. When I saw the lack of seriousness of this intervention, I said, oh shit, you know. I think I'm quite in the trouble here, because they're looking for someone to probably blame. Then My brother saw the problem through his window, and he came down, and when he exited the building, the cops grabbed him and they asked him, who is he? He's my brother. I just left him. We just ate on a restaurant. It's not me that shot the cop. There are two reasons. You can see the invoice payment of the restaurant, and you can smell my gun. If you shoot a gun once, you can smell it or you can see it. My barrel was like a mirror, you know, and it smells like oil. I always kept it like that. So it's a good reason to believe the gun has not been shot at. So they handcuffed him as well. And the superior told them to handcuff my brother. They put us on the car, inside the car, and they took us to the police station inside our car. And they just blamed us. Next day, they took all the gear up. They blamed us like terrorists, Lebanese terrorists, financed by the opposition in the United States. They mentioned Obama. They mentioned the leader of the opposition in Venezuela, and we were trafficking weapons, you know. Well, they did all that show. The attorney, I don't want to say names, of the government that makes the accusation, pressured by the government, he actually knew we didn't do anything because my relatives knew him, and we had, I don't want to give details, but we had friends in common. He asked me, how the hell did you let yourself caught by the cops? I said, well, a cop is stopping me. I'm just descending my car very respectfully, because if I would have left, you would accuse me that I was putting resistance in a detention. So how can I win? You know, you bastard government, like you're gonna blame me anywhere for anything I do, you know? So, well, he told me, we're gonna release your brother, but they have to keep someone detained to justify the whole story, you know? So it was hard times. My wife was pregnant. I couldn't see my daughter when she was born. I wasn't there. They held me for 2 years. They took my car to the White House to show it to the president and minister of defense. They liked the car. I guess they did not keep it because it's 2 doors. It's quite complicated, you know. But it was a particular car that it was kind of a project I did. And yeah, it was hard times, very, very unfair. Prisons there are hell. There's a place called hell, and like it's here on earth. And yeah, I went through a lot. Tortures and hunger and thirst and living conditions, like barely sleeping on the floor for 1.5 years, you know. And yeah, they just make yourself miserable. They're there for that. You find also good people that's willing to help, which you know, there's always good people. They're just working there for a payment, for a salary. Then I went. They took me out after 2 years, and I was home arrestment. I couldn't leave my house for 2 years. And the first day, when you leave prison after 2 years, the country changed so much that all your client, all those corporations you used to work with, they left the country. They left the country for, right? I mean, the country became like for the economic reasons, and